ओम श्री परमात्मने नमः। श्रीमद्भागवत गीता चैप्टर सेकंड वर्स 8। Here Arjun said to Lord Krishna, न हि प्रपश्यामि ममापनुद्याद शोषणमिन्द्रियाणाम् अवापय भूमा वसपन्त्रमृधं राज्यं सुराणामपि चाधिपत्यम्। Here, what meaning? He means for. Bhuma means on earth. Sapatnam, undisputed. Rhythm, affluent. Rajyam, kingdom. Cha means and. Suranam, over the gods. Adhipatyam, lordship. Avapya, unobtaining. Api, even, no, not. Prapasyami, I see. Prapasyami, I see. In future time. Yat, which. Mama indriyanam, on my sense. Uchhosanam, exercising in withering effect. Uchhosanam. Shokam means grief. Apanudhyat means can dry away. Here, far even on obtaining undisputed sovereignty and an affluent kingdom on this earth and lordship over the gods. I do not see any means that can drive away the grief which is drying up my sense. Referring to Sri Krishna, Arjun, referring to Sri Krishna, exhortates to face his adversaries in the fight. Arjun says here that the best result that could be expected from the battle was a victory which might bring him undisputed sovereignty over the earth. But the more he thought over the matter, the more he felt that even he obtained lordship over the gods, not to speak of sovereignty over the earth, that wouldn't remove the grief which was drying up his sense. He therefore appealed to the Lord to show him some definite and unfailing way that would remove his grief and bring him everlasting happiness and bliss. It is a state now what Arjun did after uttering these words. Sanjay Uvacha Eva Muktva Rishikesham Gudha Parantapa Na Yotasya iti Govinda Muktva tu Sadim Babhuvaha. Here, Parantapah means O scratcher of enemies. Gudakesha, and epithet of Arjuna. Rishikesha is name of Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna is a creature of world. एवं दस उक्तवा having spoken. Govinda means Sri Krishna. No, not. Yotsaye will fight. Iti, that. Ha means clearly. Uktava, again telling. Uktava means uktava, telling. Tushdam, silent. Nothing say, silenced. Babhuva, became. Sanjay said, O king, having thus spoken to Sri Krishna, Arjuna again said to him, I will not fight, and became silent. Arjuna see both sides in battlefield. Both sides is my related. In this verse, Sanjay says to Dhritarashtra that after taking refuge in the Lord in the manner described above and praying to him for instruction and guidance, and then expressing his own oppressive and disturbing thoughts, Arjuna now definitely said that he would not fight, and thereafter became silent. Sri Krishna is called Govinda because according to derivation means Govir Veda Vakyair Vidhyate Labhyate. The truth about God is known through the word of Vedas, and the Gita also says Vedascha Sarvair Hameva Vedhyah. It is I whom the four Vedas seek to know. Sanjay Uvacha Tam Uvacha Rishikesha Prahasaniva Bharata Senayeru Bhayor Madhye Visidantamidam Vachaha. Here Bharat means O descendant of Bharat, means Bharat means here describe this Rashtra. Bharata means here Dhritarashtra, father of Duryodhana. Rishikesha Sri Krishna Ubhayoh Senoyoh of the two armies, Madhya in the midst, in battlefield. Visidantam sorrowing. Tam him. Him means here describe Arjuna. Prahasana, laughing at him. Eva, as if. Idam means here describe the following. Vachah means word. Vach means addressed. Then, O Dhritarashtra, Sri Krishna, as if smiling, addressed the following words to sorrowing Arjuna in the midst of the two armies, referring here to him who was sorrowing in the midst of two armies. Sanjay indirectly point out that the same Arjuna, who a little while ago had requested Bhagavan Sri Krishna to place his chariot between the two armies in the bellicose and challenging spirit, was now at the sight of his kith and kin in the two opposing armies, greatly perturbed and agitated due to infatuation. It was to this Arjuna, obsessed by grief, the Bhagavan Sri Krishna addressed his word by the words Sri Krishna, as if laughing at him, addressed the following words. Sanjay gives an indication of what the Lord said, and the spirit in which he said it. The intention was to bring out that instead of maintaining the fighting attitude which Arjuna had evidenced when he requested the Lord to draw up the chariot between the two armies, and was now swayed by the opposite sentiment of grief. And again, after taking refuge in Lord and praying to him for instruction and guidance, and without waiting for his advice, he had straightway declared that he would not fight. How utterly inconsistent these actions of Arjuna were. Therefore, mentally laughing at these inconsistencies, the Lord said, here Bhagavan Sri Krishna said, verse 11, Asochayananvasocastvam pragyavadans cha bhasase gatasunascha nanusochanti panditah. Here, what meaning of tvam, you, tvam means you, asochayana. Asochayana means those who would not be grieved for. Asochayan, those who shouldn't be grieved for. Anvasoch means having grieved over. Cha and pragyavadan means word of wisdom. Bhasase means you speak. Panditah means wise man. Gatasuna means those whose life breath has departed or the dead. Cha means and. Agatasuna means those word life breath hasn't yet departed, who are still living. No means not. Anusochanti means sorrow over. Here Shri Bhagavan said, Arjuna, you grieve over those who shouldn't be grieved for, and yet speak like a learned. Wise men don't sorrow over the dead or the living. It is with reference to Arjuna, Arjun's state of grief at the sight of his uncle, grand uncle, other relations, and teachers, etc. In both the armies, from fear of their destruction, as described by himself in verse 28 to 30 of the first chapter. His sorrow over the preparation for war, as expressed in verse 45, and the agitated state of his mind, as described by Sanjay in verse 47. That the Lord here says, "You grieve over those who should not be grieved for." This verse marks the beginning of Gospel of the Gita, which reach in conclusion in verse 66 of the 18th chapter, referring to great sin occurring from the destruction of one's race in verses 31 to 44 of chapter 1st and 4 to 6 of chapter 3rd, 2nd, and egoistically refer to the meanness of Duryodhana and other, and harping on his own sense of duty. Arjun again attempted to establish by various arguments that it would be wrong to engage in that fight. Referring to those arguments of Arjun, the Lord says in this verse that he was talking like the learned. The uppermost thought in Arjun's mind at that time was that the destruction of his race, which was an inevitable consequence of the war, would lead to a confusion of castes and bring about the fall of his ancestor, who were in the other world. He was also feeling anxious for his kith and kin, who were arrayed against him, and considered serenity and other enjoyment meaningless without them. He also apprehended that the destruction of race would further lead to the corruption of women. This is what is meant by Arjun grieving for the dead and the living, and the Lord tells Arjun that the wise never grieve in this way. For in the eyes of the wise man, God, who is an embodiment of truth, knowledge, and bliss, is only abiding reality, and nothing exists apart from him. He is the self of all, and he is absolutely indestructible, indestructible, whereas the bodies are transient and can't say. The association as well as the separation of the body and the soul, though inevitable from the world point of view, are mainly imaginary as the dream.